Alright, good evening everybody. This is FFXIV, and welcome to my playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV's Dawntrail expansion. And I should mute my phone. There we go. So, as you might have noticed, this isn't my usual in-room. And that's because we are in Kugane right now. And my plan is that we're going to be continuing the role quest, actually more like starting the role quest today. Basically, I think we're out at the halfway point in Dawntrail, and I have pretty much all my jobs, all my roles up to level 95, which should be enough to get me halfway through the role quest. So that's kind of my objective for today. And it's been a while, but the last time I took a role quest to kind of review, Shashepya, a woman from a secluded village in the forests of Shaktural, has been searching for one who can aid in the retrieval of her home's stolen treasure, the Dreamweave Cocoon. Those who possess it possess the power to mimic not only the form, but the abilities of anyone they have seen. According to an eyewitness, the thief was headed towards Kugane, which is where the foremost hunter of their village, Itaka, has followed in pursuit. Yet with no word of Itaka's progress in days, Shashepya is worried the hunter may require the aid of one more familiar with the land, and suggests you may find her by inquiring at the local tavern. So, that's where we're at for today, and we'll see how far we can get in this. No clue what the story's going to turn out to be like. The villains seem a little comical, but yeah, I guess we'll just kind of see where things go. If I have time, I'll try and do all the role quests up to level 95, but if not, we'll see just how many we can fit in. And by the way, it's storming outside yet again in real life here, so if you hear any booms or thunders, that's what that is. Okay, so we need to go to the Shiokaze Hostelry. Actually, I haven't been here since the update. Ooh, that water looks nice now. I think it looked nice before, but it looks even nicer now. Anyway, let's ask around. Haboku. A lass from Taral, was it? Sorry, can't help you. That reminds me though. I heard Taral has its own local variety of spirits called mezcal. Been meaning to taste it for myself for an age now, but you've no idea how hard it is to get one's hands on a bottle of it here. That is true. Shiitan? Welcome to the Shiokaze Hostelry. How may I serve you? You're searching for someone? As a matter of fact, I do distinctly remember seeing a Viera woman of that description earlier, but I'm afraid I could not tell you where she may be now. Need to go up? I guess so. Ah, here we go. Hayataka. A Viera woman bearing a bow? Why yes, I do recall such a person. It was hard not to notice her, really, given how she was peering at every little thing. If she came from the distant lands to the west, no doubt Kugane is quite the unusual sight for her. With any luck, she'll still be where I saw her, in the vicinity of the Sekisegumi barracks. Thank you, sir. Itaka-esque woman. Oh, are you alright? This city is simply too large for me to cover alone. Perhaps it's time I returned home. Hello. Oh. Itaka? Yes, I am she. And you are? I see. Shashipia always was a worrywart. Won't deny I appreciate the help, though. Ascertaining the whereabouts of the cocoon has been no easy task. I managed to secure room and board in this lodging after arriving in Kugane, and have been using it as a base to track down the thief ever since. I'll tell you all I know. According to an eyewitness from my village, the thief is a middle-aged Huron male. That's all we have to go on regarding his appearance. Yet so long as he possesses the cocoon, he can be anyone and anything. An elderly woman traipsing along the street, a child throwing a ball, mayhap even the dog chasing after it. Truth be told, I was nigh at wit's end trying to find him. That is until I discovered that a series of unusual squabbles have been occurring around the city. After investigating these incidents, I found one commonality. The instigator in each case invariably had no recollection of the incident, let alone of inciting it. What's more, eerie accounts have begun to circulate among the residents. Some folk claim they've somehow been seen in two places at once. Based on all this, I believe the thief's been using the Dreamweave cocoon to transform into innocence and spread discord throughout the city. Stands to reason we could find him by following the trail of chaos left in his wake, no? And yet, even should we apprehend him, in whatever form he's hidden himself within, there's nothing to stop him from feigning ignorance. Besides a secret remedy, of course. The remedy for an elixir which can forcibly remove the cocoon's enchantment has been passed down in my village for emergencies like this. I made sure to prepare a few vials before making the voyage here. I simply need to throw the solution at the suspect, and the cocoon's weave of mimicry will unfurl on the spot. That covers everything. Now, what say we see if there's any trouble afoot? The thief will undoubtedly not be far from it. Let me know when you're ready. We'll catch him together. Are you sure that you're not the thief, using the cocoon? You had shifty eyes when I said your name. Ready to set off, then? Perfect. I say we begin our search within the markets. I recall a great number of people gathering in the Rakuza district, and I believe it was called. Itaka's now accompanying you. Keep your blah 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 blah. Yes. Oh. Intimidating Mikote behind me. Let's see. So we can head this way first. To think that all of this was wrought by mortal hands. Remarkable. My people have ever lived in harmony with nature, but that doesn't mean we condemn the ways of those who choose otherwise. In fact, the brief time I've been exposed to settlements like this, I've come to see such places have their merits too.
Look, you thieving whoreson! I told you this isn't enough!
Uh-oh. But sir, that cannot be right. I'm sure I gave you your change in full.
Enough! Hand over my money, or I'll take it by force.
Let's keep watching. But isn't it obvious? No one gets so worked up over a handful of coins unless they're looking for trouble. Reveal yourself, villain. What in the blazes do you think you're doing? Oh. Oh. Sorry. Very, very sorry. Ah. Oh dear. Thousands apologies, sir. I gravely miscalculated your change. I will return what you are owed immediately. I beg for your forgiveness. I apologize for the disturbance. How dreadfully embarrassing. Well, a hunter doesn't quit after a single arrow misses its mark. Best not to dwell on what's done, and instead focus on our next course of action. Let's see how things fare on Kogane Dori. Are you sure you're the best hunter for this job? Another reason why I think you're actually the thief. What was the emote for that? Accuse? Suspect? There's one that I'm thinking of. Doubt. There we go. I think it's you. Oh well. Let's keep going. Oh, same thing. Talk about the sea. I can't believe how impossibly vast the sea is. My jaw dropped when I first saw it. I could hardly fathom where the horizon ended and the sea began. Before arriving in Tuliyollao, I'd imagined the sea to be merely a larger, saltier body of water than the lake back home. There, we would race from shore to shore. To attempt the same here, I fear, would have fatal results. Oh. Rana, how are you doing? It's been ages since we last talked. Oh, Everick! Aren't you a sight for sore eyes in these far-flung lands? I trust you're still dancing up a storm these days? Not for you of late. These are dark times, but the show at the Mijikoza goes on, and so I continue to take the stage and dance. Of course, I worry for my homeland of Razatan, and yet the people of Kugane too require succor. If my dancing can keep spirits high amidst all the uncertainty, then I have done my duty as a dancer. Besides, rumor about town has it that you've been something of a regular presence in Thavnair of late. So it was true. Thank you, Everick. Knowing that, I will continue to do what I can for those around me, taking comfort in knowing that my home is in good hands. Aww. Let's see what misunderstanding is going to happen next. Ooh. I'll cut you down where you stand, you lecherous lummox. What is going on here? The big bloke yonder allegedly laid his hands on that grizzled fellow's woman. Afraid this may come to blows. Calm yourself, man. I have not done what she claims. You dare add insult to injury by calling her a liar? Ignore him. I told you, that pig defiled me. Cut him down this instant. There is no truth to her words. Wherefore does she spout such rubbish? Come and give me strength. Cut the bloody brute down already. What does that look for? Yes, not less than your head shall serve as penance for your crimes. Very well. Let my blade prove my innocence. Okay, now she's being suspicious. It's her, right? Aha. Was that really necessary? No matter. I was growing weary of this pretty farce, or petty farce. It's time I moved on to bigger and better things. Shoot it! Oh no, you don't. Oh. You missed him, right? Huh. Well done, girl. Okay, so you're just a very incompetent hunter. How odd. My bow is more out of tune than I realized. Sweetheart. Is it really you? Oh, thank the Kami you're safe. I found her lying unconscious in a nearby alleyway. She could only vaguely recall being attacked from behind before losing consciousness. So the villain knocked her out before assuming her visage in a ploy to deceive her husband. I fell for the deception like a complete and utter fool. I do not even know how to begin to make amends. There are no amends to be made. You simply acted as any husband would. Due to your involvement, this matter was resolved without bloodshed. The Seki Seigumi, thank you. 'Tis regrettable, however, that the villain managed to escape. A criminal who can change their shape at will is exceedingly dangerous. Know that the Seki Seigumi will alert the populace to this menace and remain vigilant for any suspicious activity in the city. Let's return to my lodgings. I'd like to go over where we stand with our elusive quarry. there. Okay, oops, other direction. As predicted, the thief has been using the cocoon's power of mimicry to incite conflict around the city. What he hopes to accomplish by doing so, however, is still unclear. And, so long as he has this power, our sole means of tracking him remains the havoc left in his wake. A trying trail for any hunter, but I'm heartened to have a warrior like you beside me as I tread it. We'll catch him together, and when we do, we'll mete out the justice he deserves, Averick. I'm still not sure if you're suspicious or just incompetent. But I guess we'll find out. Itaka is eager to continue the hunt. Good to see you, Averick. For better or worse, I haven't heard about any unusual incidents in Kugane since your last altercation with the thief. There may be a reason for that. Do you remember when he claimed he was moving on to bigger and better things? If we're to catch him, we may have to expand the scope of our search beyond Kugane. Yet he traveled all the way from Tural to this eastern land for a reason, and I can't imagine he'd go too far. Do you know of any other settlements nearby? The Ruby Sea is dotted with settlements. People live out in those waters? But they're so vast. Where would we even begin? Ah, so the Bakufu have an outpost at the Ruby Price? That sounds like the perfect place to start. Let's make our way there and avail ourselves of the soldiers' intel. If anything out of the ordinary has occurred, no doubt they'll be aware of it. Shall we? Okay. Oh, if we're gonna go there, it'll just be faster to use the port. Or, the pier. Here we go. You're not who I need to talk to. Wait a second, who are you? Why do I need to talk to you? I have no memory of who you are. Well, this is unexpected. What brings you to the Ruby Price? Disputes? Strange that you should ask. Not even a moon ago, the waters of the Ruby Sea were poised to turn a sanguinary shade. Please, tell us everything. A Confederate skiff approached the Ruby Price without authorization, and its occupant began hurling insult after insult in an obvious attempt to provoke us. We did not succumb to their provocations, however. After warning the vessel we'd fire if they drew an elm closer, they withdrew without a word. However, should they provoke us again, we will not display the same level of restraint, and the roar of our cannon shall signal their comrades to rally in full force. The waters will flow red. Of that, there can be no doubt. Tensions run high. Not like this has ever occurred. I see. Thank you for the information. Might we speak privately? Based on the testimony just now, I gather there's an agreement in these waters that the Confederates are not to draw near the Ruby Price, guarded as is by Bakufu sentries. If that's the case, then as the soldier stated, I can only conclude that the vessel earlier was attempting to incite a dispute between the two factions. Which fits the modus operandi of our quarry, wouldn't you say? Perhaps it was he who sailed here under the banner of the Confederates. Whatever the case may be, we have nothing but conjecture. We'll need solid evidence before we can alert the soldiers here to this threat. I doubt they'll heed our warnings otherwise. First, we need to verify if any members of the Confederacy actually approached the Ruby Price. Do you know where their base of operations can be found? Sakazuki. Looks like it would be fastest for us to swim there. You can swim, I can fly. Oh, or you can just teleport straight here. That's handy. Give me 1 second, folks. It's getting a little bit warm in my room, and I'm gonna do something to adjust to that. Okay, that should be better. So, let us continue. Shihoji. What? Absolutely not. Not one of my Confederate brothers or sisters would approach the Ruby Price without authorization. Those cowardly Bakufu dogs must have concocted this baseless rumor to get a rise out of us. I really went through Stormblood too fast. I don't remember, like, any of these characters. Hyun. The soldiers at the Ruby Price said that, did they? Pardon my language, but that's a load of shite. We have no interest in Hingan waters. If anything, I've seen their skiffs encroaching on our territory of late. If you ask me, they're the ones thirsty for blood. There you are, Everick. Listen to what this person has to say. The situation is more grave than we thought. I'm thankful you came, and not a moment too soon. Captain Rasho ain't been acting herself, you see, or himself, you see. Normally where he goes, Tansui goes, but not today. He showed up just earlier by his lonesome, and ordered us to gather as many heads as able to join him on the Isle of Beko to attend some pressin' business. Normally I'd oblige the captain without a moment's hesitation, but I had a feeling something weren't right. So I asked him what manner of business. We're going to set the Ruby Price ablaze, he says. The bloody Ruby Price. Tried speaking some sense into him, but he weren't o' minds. Hold on, my audio's glitching. And I can't say what speaking that pirate tongue. But he weren't o' a mind to listen. Walked off saying he has no need of craven bastards like me. Look, I don't know what's getting into the captain, but it can't be anything good. Please, go to the Isle of Beko and stop him and be comrades before it's too late. This Rasho acting strangely can't be a coincidence. We need to get to that island and quickly. Do you know the way? Got it. We've not a moment to waste. hear voices. Seems they've gathered up ahead. Those scum think they can encroach on our territory and get away with it? I'll be damned if we let them. Tonight, we lay siege to the ruby price and seize it for ourselves. But are you sure? If we do this, we won't be just starting a battle. We'll be starting a war. You've been acting strange, Captain. What's gotten into you?
Silence! I didn't ask for your bloody opinion.
Those lion dogs claimed it was us breaching the agreement. I say we give the bastards what they deserve. All 4 of you? You are not welcome here. Be gone if you value your lives. Yeah, piece of fake. You're a terrible actor. Saw through my disguise once again. Don't tell me you count even a pirate captain among your acquaintances. You bet you do. What are you trying to accomplish? Why incite such conflict wherever you go? Why? Sorry to disappoint you, but contrary to the passage of the Unbound's prattling about freeing the world from the tyranny of government, I have no grand designs. I merely wish for everyone to show their true faces. Folk love to put on airs of sophistication and virtue, but push them towards the edge, and their masks slip off to reveal the monsters underneath. They'll go for their neighbor's juggler just to save their own skin. You've seen it yourselves. It's quite the spectacle. I wonder how this will turn out. Okay, I appreciate the Namazus. Damn it, the winds are too strong. Uh-huh. A man of 1,000 faces is a true menace indeed. We'll return to Onokoro forthwith to alert the captain. Rest assured, the Confederacy will be keeping a close watch over the Ruby Sea. I didn't think for a moment he was an imposter, and the lies he spouted about the Bakufu soldiers were enough to make my blood boil. To think what would have happened had you not been here to stop us. Kami bless you. All he wants is to expose people's so-called true faces? They would use the cocoon for such a petty cause. Unthinkable. Let's return to Kugane for the time being. I wonder if she's an accomplice. Because basically all these places he's going, these people are finding out that there's a villain among them who can change into anybody. That would basically incite distrust between everybody, which maybe is his bigger plan, maybe? Or I might be overthinking this, and they're just supposed to be a cheesy comical villain, which could be the case. Damn it all. I can't believe a bastard like that. Forgive me. I find myself more disgruntled with that villain each time we see him. And to think all of this is driven by a small-minded spite. From what I could gauge, he didn't fly towards Kugane during his escape. I believe he seeks a new settlement to terrorize. Now that the Confederacy and I are acquainted, I'll see if they can't help me sniff out his roost. No doubt where there's smoke, he'll be there stoking the fire. And I suppose I'll use this period to tend my bow. Next time, my arrow will fly true. Uh-huh. Who's who? Itaka appears to have found a new lead. Wonderful, you're here. Ever since the incident in the Ruby Sea, I kept a line of communication with the Confederacy, and they just reported something you'll be interested to hear. Apparently, a man impersonating the distinguished Lord of Doma was recently exposed. One of the Lord's retainers saw through the pretender's facade while he was attempting to stir up trouble in the Doman enclave. The impostor then reportedly transformed into a hawk and fled. Clearly, our quarry now nests in Doma. I'd like to resume our hunt immediately, but I'm not sure where he may go after his failure in the enclave. Do any locations come to mind? A town in Yansha called Namai, you say? That sounds promising. The extent of your knowledge is truly remarkable, Averick. Then without further ado, let's make our way there and see if the residents have noticed any unusual activity. Third. Here we go. Okay, so we gotta talk to the villagers. Somebody sweeping? No, somebody is sweeping. Okay, Shinden?
Trouble? None that I could think of. For a blessing, all has been peaceful.
Okay. In here? Nope, that's not a door that I can go through. So down here? Ah, here we go. Ochimi? By the Kami's grace, our quaint village has not seen strife since the Imperials were ousted. There has been news, however, of a man impersonating Lord Hien at the Enclave. As I am told, when Lord Hien voiced intentions to invade Nagsha, all present grew wary of the individual. None more so than Lady Ugiri, who saw through the farce immediately. After he was exposed, the villain fled the scene with haste. Unfortunately, efforts to find him will not have borne fruit. And up here? Ah, here we go. Miyake.
Have there been any quarrels of late? Why, yes, actually. Just the other day, the two of us were at each other's throats over a persimmon. She was only supposed to eat half, but she went and gobbled the whole thing. In the end, she purchased this one by way of apology, so I let bygones be bygones. What's that? This isn't the sort of quarrel you're speaking of?
None of the residents I spoke with reported anything out of the ordinary. How did you fare? Nope. Then it seems the villain is not here. Where might he have gone?
Huh? What are you doing here?
Friend of yours?
Don't hang your head like we're strangers. We just met moments ago. Remember? You asked me how to reach the House of the Fierce. Uh-oh. Good grief, lad. You're lost, aren't you? I can understand your embarrassment, but I'll tell you the way again. Listen carefully now. Follow the descending paths leading north of the village until you see a small pond. Then simply dive in and swim. The House of the Fierce will be on the other side. Could he have impersonated you this time? This doesn't bode well. We must hurry. Much obliged, sir. Or he could have been that guy to try and lead us astray. Nope, I'm gonna go to the north. Oops, wait a second. Just how far must we swim to reach this place? I dare say my days spent in the lakes back home are about to come in handy. There I am. My friends, it's come to my attention that the Khan of the Azim Steppes' mighty Oranir tribe conspires in the shadows to invade Doma. We must not give him the chance. Invasion would mean all-out war. There's only one solution. Under the cover of darkness, he must assassinate the Khan. Only with his death can this crisis be averted. Uh-huh. They grow wary. Perhaps I should observe my targets more carefully. With all due respect, these allegations must be brought before Lord Hien. It is imperative that we receive his instruction before acting. That would be playing right into Oranir's hands. After all, an impostor disguised as Lord Hien was just but recently exposed. An Oranir spy, there can be no question. Yet the spy has fled, their whereabouts now unknown. They could be anyone and anywhere, weaving new schemes even as we speak. Decisive action must be taken. That is why I came to you. So the impersonation of Lord Hien was but a part of the Oranir's grand scheme? But why would those who fought alongside us for Doma's liberation conspire to invade? Forgive me, but you do not seem yourself, Averick. Something isn't right. You're talking far more than you usually do. Because I am desperate. A shadow looms over Doma, and only with your help can I cast away its dark pall. Please, lend me your strength. How long are we gonna let him talk? Our honored friend Averick risked life and limb to see Doma free, yet you address him with suspicion and doubt. If he says we must act first to prevent greater bloodshed, then we must act. And it's true that he has never led us astray. Brothers and sisters, let us join hands with Averick once more to drive back this shadow rising over Doma. Hee hee hee. Ugh. What is the meaning of this? It's that infernal Oranir spy. Quickly, kill him before he can escape. You sound nothing like me. I barely speak at all. Your charade ends here. It's you. Oh. Such persistent vermin.
Luckily, he's not too imaginative with his use of the thing. The Manamazu are so derpy looking all the time. I love it. Are you truly the foremost hunter of your village? Ah, pathetic. You're nothing like that other girl. What was her name? Ah, yes, Ataka. She was fearsome, that one. Right up until the moment I drove my blade into her back. Oh. What is this? Don't tell me you've been masquerading around as Ataka herself. After all, that would make you no better than me. Hiding behind the name of another won't erase the blame you bear for everything that happened. Would you like to explain yourself? I'm sorry. I swear I'll explain everything to you later. For now, we should apprise these men and women of the situation. To think he can transform into anyone. A truly fearsome ability. I shall alert Lord Heian to this threat immediately. Rest assured that all of Doma will be put on alert. I was completely fooled. I have no words to express my shame. Upon speaking with you again, I realized that though the impostor assumed your guise, he had neither your spirit nor your grace. Forgive me. I will not fall for such a farce again. Sir, you seem to know more than you're saying. Good, you came back. Might I have a word? The man impersonating you earlier. I'd recognize his face anywhere. Without a doubt, he is Samadare, a childhood friend. You know him? Please, you must tell us everything. I have known Samadare nearly my entire life. We learned the shinobi arts together, you see. Roughly 25 years ago, we engaged in our first battle as proud ninja, defending Doma against the Empire's invasion. With every fiber in our body, we met their mighty Magitech with Nimbo Jujitsu. As if moved by our resolve, the mighty auspicious and guardian of Doma, Tamamo Gozen, appeared on the field of battle to aid our cause. Yet, our efforts were for naught. The Empire's might fell upon Doma like a hammer, and we were crushed beneath their overwhelming force. The occupation began soon after, and so too did my work from the shadows. While I devoted myself to resisting the Empire in secret, Samadare was conscripted to their army, and forced to become an Imperial spy. I understand he served them well, fanning the flames of war in faraway lands through rumor and manipulation. Indeed, as far back as I can recall, Samadare has ever excelled in the skill of subterfuge. It was only after the prisoner exchange that he returned to Doma at long last, but he was a changed man. He could find no joy or solace in the peace he once fought to secure for our nation. Instead, he sought to disrupt it. War has taught me the truth of this world. Civility is but a facade to hide man's savagery, and I'll prove it here in dear, dear Doma. The fool I am, I thought he was jesting. Only later, when I discovered the web of lies he spun to turn folk against one another, did I realize he meant every word.
I tried to confront him, but he fled Doma before I had the chance. Nevertheless, I searched his home afterwards and discovered a missive from an organization called the Passage of the Unbound. I have it here with me. Dear illustrious Samadari, we extend our deepest gratitude for your interest in joining the Passage of the Unbound. With each passing day, our secret order draws closer to its goals, and we shall require exceptional talent for what lies ahead. Bearing these needs in mind, we have decided to welcome you into the fold. To celebrate the start of an auspicious future together, we invite you to meet with your colleagues in Tuliolao and have enclosed your ticket within. Exceptional talent? Exceptional egos, more like. This Passage of the Unbound kept a watchful eye on nations far and wide to recruit cutthroats like Samadari who only followed their own desires. Upon his arrival in Tural, Samadari's ambitions guided him to my home, where he stole the Dreamweave cocoon and set out to use it for his own twisted ends. I'm afraid that appears to be the way of it. In all likelihood, it is the Passage of the Unbound which alerted him to this Dreamweave cocoon's existence. Today, Samadari attempted to incite war between Doma and the Azim Steppe by wearing the face of our dearest ally, you. Your timely appearance prevented the worst from happening, but so long as he can alter his form and face at will, who can say what tomorrow may bring? His years as a secret operative have made him a master at reading people. Should he decide to study his target before taking their form, I fear his schemes may not be discovered until it is already too late. Please, be careful, and may the Kami bless you and keep you. Attempting to find Samadari now would be a fruitless endeavor. He could be any bird in the sky, or any beast roaming the wild. Let us return to Kugane. I'll reveal everything to you there. I promise. What am I doing? I'm grateful for your help today. Once again, I let our prey slip away. The only silver lining is that we know who he is now. But more importantly, I apologize for deceiving you. As Samadari said, I'm not the greatest hunter of my home. I'm not Itaka. I'm Kuiki. I hail from the same village as Itaka, and I too am a hunter, but only in name. You've seen my aim for yourself. Yet, most shameful of all is that it's my fault that the Dreamweave cocoon was stolen. Normally, it is enshrined in the deepest recesses of our home. Only Itaka had leave to wield it. The forest provides shelter and sustenance to many, and not all we share its bounty with are friendly. When great beasts threaten our home, the cocoon's power may be used to protect our lives. Yet, I used it for my own foolish desires. I couldn't take it anymore. I was a hunter, yet could barely catch prey large enough to feed myself. I was forced to wash clothes, prepare meals, and tune bows. Just once, I wanted to be acknowledged. I wanted to feel pride. So I used the cocoon's power to transform myself into Itaka. With her dexterity and finesse, I finally caught prey befitting a true hunter. And as I carried my prize home, he appeared. I found him collapsed in the middle of a beaten path. I never had reason to mistrust someone before, so I approached him to nurse his wounds. Yet the moment I drew close, he knocked the cocoon from my grasp and struck me unconscious. He was long gone by the time I awoke. I confessed my sin to the village elder, and in her boundless grace she forgave me. But I could not forgive myself. I left home that very eve in secret to pursue the thief, all the way to Kugane. After several days of fruitlessly scouring the city, who should I see but Ataka? As her most exceptional hunter, it came as no surprise the elder had charged her with recovering the cocoon. She was astonished to see me, of course. I had told no one of my actions. I feared she would send me home, but when I expressed to her my shame, my anger, she consoled me and told me we would find the cocoon together. And I was certain we would, until the day that duplicitous bastard killed her. You appeared soon after her passing. I thought with someone as strong as you at my side, maybe, just maybe, I could avenge her. So I lied. Like Samadari said, I'm no better than he is. I'm an imposter. But my desire to reclaim the cocoon is every bit as strong as Atoka's was. I am so sorry for lying to you, Averick. I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me, and continue to aid me in reclaiming the Dreamweave cocoon. I had my suspicions, but I also had faith in you, and it's been rewarded. I guess. Thank you. I know with you at my side, I can keep my promise to Ataka. For now, I'll remain vigilant for any news regarding the conflict in the region. Please do pay me a visit when you find a moment to spare. I'm counting on you. Kuiki's brow is furrowed in uncharacteristic unease. Averick, I'm so relieved to see you. I thought you might resent me for lying to you, that you might refuse to lend me your help again. I'd certainly be hard-pressed to reclaim the cocoon alone in this foreign land. I truly meant what I said before. I'm counting on you. Though I'm ashamed to admit it, when I first came here, I was nearly swindled out of an heirloom by a talking catfish. Well, we know who that is. I had been scouring the city for a shop to pawn my choker, so I could secure room and board, you see, when the catfish approached me, claiming it'd buy the necklace for a fair price. Offered me a handful of coins that glittered like gold. I was about to accept the offer when Ataka appeared. In mere moments, she discerned that the catfish's currency was counterfeit, and ended the transaction then and there. She dragged me to the markets afterwards, and pawned her own necklace to secure lodging for both of us. From the moment she arrived, Ataka took care of everything. What I'm trying to say is, I can't do anything on my own. I'm reckless and impulsive, and I'm just really glad to have you by my side. It's been some time, my friends. Pray forgive my sudden visit, but I come bearing urgent tidings. Ah, we spoke with you at the House of the Fierce. What brings you all this way? I was able to make contact with Samadari. I told him I was willing to make amends and join my oldest friend in exposing the lies in people's hearts. He responded most eagerly and bade me meet him in secret. Well, wait, really? Did he say where? Aye, Hell's Lid. I had a mind to lay an ambush for him, but not knowing the extent of the power he wields, I thought it best to seek help. And so, I come here to beg your aid, Everic. Your strength and valor are unequaled, and we cannot apprehend Samadari without you. We may never get another chance to catch him unawares like this. There's no time to lose. Well, wait. Forgive me for speaking plain, Huntress, but I fear we would only be a hindrance to Everic when the fighting begins. Let us go to Hell's Lid by skiff, and meet his after the villain is subdued. Oh, I take your point. You're right. Without us there to distract him, Everic can focus wholeheartedly on the battle. Sorry, would you mind going it alone? We'll be there as soon as we can. Let me guess. That guy was actually Samadari, and he's going to capture Quiki and use her as a hostage. That's my hunch, at least. Let's see. All right, fastest way to get there would be through here. Oh, hold on one second. Getting a text from my boss. Okay. I think everything's good. Okay, to Hell's Lid we go. Where exactly are we going? Oh. Nothing. Hold on. The boss messaged me back.
that should be the end of that. Let's get back to not finding Samadari. You still see no sign of Samadari, but feel an unsettling presence. Oh, what are you guys doing here? I've kind of forgotten how to play ninja. I don't remember what my ideal rotation is. Okay. I was like, what am I doing again? That's kind of the trouble with ninja. Like, it's very... There's a lot of things to, like, keep in your head, I feel like. At least for me. Queeky? Hey, are you alright? Yes, but I know you're not Queeky. I came as soon as... Oh, is the battle over already? Where's Samadari? I was ambushed by a group of red Kojin. What? So this was a trap? Wait, over there. Nothing. Thank goodness, I made it. After all that time I spent in that old Kojin's shell, convincing his underlings to attack you, my blade was mere ilms from the skin of your back. Alas. A meticulous plan gone to waste. Seems I underestimated your strength, and the failed huntress's tenacity. I dare say I'm outmatched, and no common beast I might mimic can stand against you. I must come to contemplate your deaths with more care, more rigor. Look forward to our next meeting. Forgive me. I needed to catch my breath. Samadari's friend was the villain himself. As soon as the skiff made it to the open sea, he threw me overboard. I damn near had to swim like a fish to make it here in time. He's made me into a fool. Again. He waylaid me before using a similar ruse. By the time I figured out what was what, Itaka was already... I always wondered how a craven like Samadari was able to kill her, our greatest hunter, and now I know. When Itaka felt the blade at her back and turned to see the face of her killer, she saw me. I'm glad I was able to prevent history from repeating itself. I don't want to lose you too. We should return to Kugane. Samadari may have planted more than one trap for us here.
I'm realizing that... So I was expecting Samadari to use the cocoon to like turn into a bunch of like crazy beasts and just cause like chaos all over the place. But I'm just realizing now that he probably has not encountered many crazy wild creatures, beasts, primals like I have. So all of a sudden that makes a lot more sense why he's just turning into people and falcons. I was expecting him to turn to like Vidral or something like that. I feared the worst as I rushed to reach you. The moment Samadari was in sight, I charged without thinking, which, in retrospect, was probably for the best. Had I tried to shoot him from afar with my bow, I might have missed, or, worse yet, hit you instead. In any case, I'm just relieved you're safe. I promise to be more wary from now on, particularly of familiar faces. It hardly needs saying, but remember to keep your guard up as well. For now, I'll resume my efforts to gather information about Samadari's whereabouts. You'll be the first to know once I have a lead. Oh, can we go again? Wait, how can I accept this? I'm not level 98. None of my jobs are at level 98, are they? Oh, Viper is, though. We'll hold off for now. I want to be mostly balanced with all my job quests, so technically I'm a little bit ahead with this one. Okay, so with that, next up, let's maybe do Tink role quests. Okay, let's see, so we want to go to Shibalia Chi? Some new things to equip. And yes, my outfit looks a little weird. I'm kind of half glamored and half new equipment. But it is what it is. Oh, that is there's a guy on the roof. Oh, and look at the cute little tiger kitty. That's my minion now. I got him from, what do you call it? Yaktiel, for maxing out the shared fate. What do you call it? Yeah, the shared fate ranking. I think he's adorable, and he's my new pet for my tank. Okay, so where's the tank quest? Ah, here we go. Oh, you're gonna make me say your name, aren't you? Lozanique. Lozanique. Okay. The narwhal beckons. The young woman gazes into the horizon with a troubled expression. Oh, hello. Judging by your attire, you must be the traveler from across the seas. Then I suppose Brookevu has enlisted you to our aid. Excuse me. That you were guided here safely must be the work of the brave Narwhal, who remains watchful even in this dire time. We are ever grateful for its vigilance. My name is Lozanique, and I hail from the northern reaches of Shakcharal, where even our breath freezes when caught in the chilling winds. Our people revere Taral Vidral of the Narwhal, whose essence rests in the cradle of the sleepless, our most sacred treasure. Through fathomless depths it swam without rest, protecting its home from any who would do it harm. Legends tell that the Narwhal could place the burden of its fatigue upon another, and thus was able to maintain his vigil night and day. So too can any who possess the cradle lull a person, willing or no, into a deep slumber, all while avoiding the need to sleep for themselves. That's interesting. Needless to say, such power could cause untold harm in the wrong hands. Thus was the greatest warrior of our village, Tentoa, tasked with crossing the ocean and returning that which was most sacred to us. I'd have joined him, but I feared I would only be a burden. So I remained here, that I might find someone to send to his aid. Tentoa has ever rushed bravely and blindly into the thick of things, leaving me behind to watch and worry. But if there's anything I can do for him, even a little, then I must. Brookevu has done well to send you to me. I can tell you are just the man to temper his more reckless tendencies and keep him safe during his quest. As luck would have it, a letter from Tentoa arrived shortly before you did. It seems he discovered that the thief made their way to a place called Ishgard. While I don't doubt his prowess, even Tentoa would be rendered helpless before the Narwhal's lullaby. Please, could you follow him to Ishgard and find him before he does anything rash? Ishgard is like a second home to me. That's relatively true. Thank you, Everick. I knew the Narwhal would guide a brave protector to our side. Tentoa says... Tentoa? I'm not sure the emphasis of that name. Tentoa. I don't know how to say it. Tentamon, let's call him that, sails to an unfamiliar place, but despite his hasty nature, he doubtless spent time gathering information about his new surroundings before planning his next step. If Ishgard has a place like this one, where people gather to drink and talk, he might go there first. Ask for a swordsman with blue hair and attire like mine, and I'm sure it won't be long until you find him. Okay, to Ishgard it is. Okay, probably the Forgotten Knight. Yep. Okay, man with blue hair. Giberlant, how are you doing? If it isn't Averick, what'll it be? A lad from the Western Continent? Well, I can't be going around gossiping about the comings and goings of my customers, now can I? That's a quick way to an empty tavern. But I suppose, since you're you, I can make an exception just this once. A lad much like the one you described walked through my door not long ago. Was asking anyone whose ear he could bend about some stolen narwhal or some such he was after. Usually you buy someone a drink before interrogating him, but not him. Nobody knew what he was going on about, but he was determined. Asked where else in Ishgard people might gather to flap their lips. So I told him to head to the Jeweled Crozier. If you leave now, I reckon he'll still be there. You'll know him when you see him, trust me. Okay. Oh. For some reason I thought that led outside. Clearly it's been a while since I was in Ishgard. Let's see. Oh, that was a weird teleport. Speaking of which... Well, not speaking of which, but more like I just saw a summoning bell, so I'm pretty sure I can send out my retainers again. And yes, I can. Off you guys. Oops, wrong one. There you go. And my last one. There we go. Okay. So, we'll know him when we see him. Oh, it's the corn servant. Hot-blooded youth. Yep, you look like the guy. Though I wouldn't say you have blue hair. You like dark gray hair. Oh. Bunch of useless. By the narwhal's horn, you think manners keep people warm from... Let's try it again. By the narwhal's horn, you think manners keep people warm for how desperately these people cling to them. And here I am trying to rid their city of a thief. Yes? It seems you know me, but I don't think I've ever seen you before. I'd remember. I know. My clothing looks pretty weird right now. Lozaniqui? These names. Lozaniqui sent you? Even across oceans she can sense when I'm in trouble. Well, I won't deny a helping hand, especially one with her blessing. I'm having no luck getting information from these people. Seems there are unwritten rules regarding favors that no one's bothered to tell me. I know the thief traveled here, but that's where the trail runs cold. I thought it'd only be a matter of time until they used the cradle to commit some misdeed or another, but it seems nothing is amiss, within or without Ishgard's walls. I only have a description to go on, though it's availed me nothing so far. A woman of a race known in this land as Elizin. She has striking red hair and eyes the color of rust. A scar dominates her forehead, and a mole rests upon her lips. She came to my village posing as a scholar, with an interest in the cradle. Although she gave us a name, I know now it was a lie, just like everything else that spewed from her mouth. The bounty of meat, vegetables, and fruit she offered was worth its weight in gold to us. After the cold snap we suffered last year, we couldn't afford to turn her away. But looking back, I realized how brazen her deception was. Although she wore the robes of a scholar, she moved with the poise of a predator. I marked her as a fearsome warrior the moment I laid eyes upon her. Of course, she wouldn't have been able to travel so far north on her own if she was unseasoned, so I thought nothing of it at the time. It was my first misstep of many. That's all I know. It's not much, but if you see even the smallest scrap of a clue in there, it'd be a damn sight better than what I've currently have. I doubt she feels guilt. Skilled swords would be known among the knights of the congregation. If she's posing as a scholar, maybe this will be the option. So let's go with this one. Few scholars study in Ishgard without passing through the Astrologicum. Oh, okay. Well, I see your point, but her guise as a scholar was only meant to win our trust. I doubt she's a woman of learning. Then a skilled sword would be known among the knights of the congregation. You haven't told me what her weapon of expertise is. Knights, was it? I suppose that's what you call those deadly-looking fellows clad in steel. Yes. You may be on something there. But where would we find one willing to speak? I just so happen to know a few. At their barracks, near the tavern? I know the way. I'll meet you there. One second, folks. Okay. Let's go back. Oh wait, isn't the painter guy up here? I think there are new paintings that I neglected to look at before. Just hold on one second here. Yeah, here he is. Dermert. Oh, there's a lot here. Thancred, Urian J. Oh right, you could purchase paintings of the 12. Definitely need to get one of Ashan. He's my patron deity. But there's no need to get it right now. My inventory space is already getting a little bit limited. So, I'll hold off on that for now. Oh. Okay. Here we go. This is it, right? Let's not waste any time, Maverick. Why, Master Symphorian? What brings you to the congregation? This passage of the Unbound? This passage of the Unbound is not a name I've heard before, but if one of their number has brought an artifact of great power to Ishgard, we'd be ill-advised to suffer their presence. We should act on this information at once. If there is aught that would threaten the peace, then it is the duty to root it out. It is our duty to root it out. Consider the knights of the congregation at your disposal. Thank you for hearing us out, truly. Now, does anything about the description we shared ring a bell? An Elysian woman with red hair and eyes the color of rust. Wait, you said she bore a scar on her forehead, yes? And a mole? No, it could not be. You know who she is? Well, such information is usually privy only to those within our order. Pray understand my hesitation. What? Weren't you listening to anything we told you? She's too dangerous to be left alone. This isn't the time for secrecy. I know I'm a stranger in your city, but I can't stand idle while innocent lives might be at risk. If you can't trust Tentamon, then trust me. You're right, of course. If the hero who ended the Dragonsong War is not worthy of our trust, then who is? Very well. You know, if his name uses the same pronunciation as like Kona, The OA should be a long O. So maybe Master Tentoa? That's a heck of a lot easier to say, so I'm going to try that. Master Tentoa, pray accept my apologies. Although you may not be Ishgardian, your desire to keep its people safe is plain to see. We shall place our trust in you, as Master Symphorian has. I'm glad we could see eye to eye. Now then, what do you know of this thief? Your description called back some old memories. Memories of a knight named Leofine. Merely recalling her story makes me ill at ease, for the mark she left upon our honorable order was black as pitch. None know of her whereabouts since she was expelled from the congregation. I had thought living with the shame of her deeds would be punishment enough, but if she now consorts with villains that threaten the very foundation of order, then 'tis clear we can suffer her freedom no longer. I shall inform my superiors of this development, and suggest that the congregation does all in its power to track down Leofine and place her in custody. If we learn aught of value, I promise to share it with you at once. Really? That's more than we could have asked. I suppose we ought to consider what to do in the meantime. Care to join me over there, Averick? So, we have a name. Leofine, a former knight of Ishgard. That means she knows how to hide herself in the city well. Grasping about at straws won't get us anywhere. My own unfamiliarity does little to help our chances. We may have no choice but to wait until the knights discover a lead. Nevertheless, I intend to spend every waking moment learning more about the city and its workings. As for you, I only ask that you be ready to move at a moment's notice. Until then, be well. Sleepless in Ishgard. Tentoa is eyeing each passing Asgardian with curiosity. There you are, Averick. I've been walking Ishgard streets wherever I've been able, and I've taken to searching for any sleeping people. You see, the land I'm from isn't much warmer than this, and people know not to tempt fate by dozing off in the open air. Even those blind with drink manage to somehow find their way home. I figure the only force powerful enough to overcome that instinct for self-preservation would be the cradle. So if we find a sleeper exposed to the elements, we may very well discover Leofine nearby. I can't imagine she brought it all this way just to remain idle. It's a tedious prospect, but we need to scour every back alley and shadowed walkway before anyone catches something much worse than a cold. Master Symphorian, Master Tentoa, I bring good tidings. The Temple Knights wasted no time in distributing handbills across Ishgard containing Leofine's description. These efforts have already borne fruit. We but recently received a report of someone matching her features being sighted. Really? Where? She was sighted near Camp Dragonhead by a patrolling sentry. He described a woman with red hair and a distinct scar on her forehead. The outpost can be reached by passing through the Gates of Judgment and heading east. Once there, speak with Sir Eugenio for the full report. I knew she'd show herself. Let's hurry, Averick. Right, let's go. Let's see. Fastest way to Camp Dragonhead. Oh wait, that's right down here. I was thinking it was in the Western Highlands. There you are. This must be him. Well, don't dally. Ah, I was informed you were on the way. This is concerning the report by one of our sentries, yes? He sighted a woman matching the description in the handbill sent by the congregation. She was heading south along the footpath, but that is all we know. Yes, this is Eugenio. What? Hold fast. I shall send aid at once. What happened? A shipment of supplies was waylaid by monstrous beasts. A contingent of temple knights should have been protecting it, but something is amiss. They need our help. We would be in your debt. The shipment was attacked on the road west of the observatorium. I shall muster more knights. Please, go find my men before any lives are lost. Got it. Let's see. It's a fate. How far south are we going? Oh, pretty far south. Let's see. Somewhere around here? Oh, here we are. I don't see anything. They should be close, right? I'll search the other side of the river. Everett, you search further down the road. And keep your weapon at the ready. Nope. See a bunch of ravenous silver wolves. There's another guy here, though. I'll wait for him to finish first. Go help him out. And now he's in a cutscene, so it should be fine. Hello, everybody. There we go. Easy peasy. Let's help the house for temp night. You saved us. We were almost... Oh. Hello there. You won't be feasting today. Oh. Good job, Tintoa. Not a moment too soon. The wide eye watches eternal, and eternal is the sleep it bestows. Are they dead or asleep? Oh. We were too late. No, they're not. Oh, just look. they're asleep, that's all. What? Good. Good. Our trusty chocobos suddenly became unsure on their feet, and the wagon toppled onto the side of the road. There was nothing for it but to fix the damage on the spot. The temple knights were to secure the area, but before I knew it, each and every one of them had fallen asleep where they were standing. Then the beast attacked, and it was just me before those snarling fangs. Time to wake up. Sleep here any longer and the cold will have you. Just slapping him? Ugh. What happened? Why do I feel like I have bruises on my face? We fell asleep? But we were patrolling. He must be mistaken. A temple knight would never shirk his duty so. Are you calling me a liar? I saw you fall over on your arse with my own eyes. If not for Sir Eugene's quick response and the bravery of these warriors, we would all be food for the vultures by now. The congregation will hear of this dereliction of duty, you can be sure. Oh. Now, hold on just a moment. They aren't the ones to blame. A sacred relic of my people was stolen, and... now isn't the time. Sorry, forget I said anything. Kind of feel like it is the time. A little explanation would help these guys keep their jobs. Whatever dizziness overtook the chocobos seems to have passed, so I'll resume my journey once the carriage is repaired. Assuming my guards are quite refreshed, I believe we can make it on our own. Please, return to Camp Dragonhead and warm yourselves. It's no coincidence that the giant birds and the two guards took leave of their senses around the same time. This is the work of the cradle. But even if Leofine was here, she is no longer. Let's return to the city and consider our next steps. Okay, back to Ishgard. Leofine may have escaped us, but the witness's report has given us a clue to follow. Thank the Narwhal for guiding us swiftly to the knights. We have received the report of the incident near Camp Dragonhead. 2 of our own, sleeping on duty, by the Fury. Had you reached them even a moment later, this day would have been much darker. Although it pains me to say it, those 2 shall be punished as befits the magnitude of their negligence. If I may, I don't believe the blame rests entirely on their shoulders. The Cradle of the Sleepless was used against them, I'm certain. Ah, yes. You said it possessed the power to lull others into a deep sleep. I admit that would explain these exceptional circumstances. Regardless, they were still bested by their enemy, and their charge was almost killed as a result. Punishment is the only recourse. I see. A harsh stance, maybe, but I can respect that you don't treat your duty lightly. Well, if you learn anything else of Leofine's plots, please let us know at once. Even though we didn't find her, I'm glad we were able to save those soldiers. Thank you for coming to us. Nay, 'tis the Temple Knights who owe you thanks. We shall continue our search, and rest assured you shall be the first to know of any developments. Averick, There's more I would tell you about the cradle. Things I should have told you sooner. Join me over there, and I'll do my best to fix that mistake. What do you have to say, Tintoa? Now you've seen with your own eyes what I've only been able to describe. The narwhal's lullaby can put even hardened warriors into a restful slumber. They may as well be defenseless as a newborn babe. But even with such power, my people have never used it to attack our enemies. Its sole purpose has always been to keep a single person awake, an eternal guardian who would never sleep, never rest. The White Eye. Me. Oh. For 10 years I have been awake, training day and night to gain the strength I have now. The strength to shield my people. Of course, another must receive the weariness I cast aside. The Shut-Eye. You've met her, in fact. Lozanique. As I've been awake these 10 years, she's spent the better part of her days in a deep slumber. Her brief periods of wakefulness are spent exercising and eating, so her body doesn't waste away. And so we've barely spoken, despite how much I depend on her. When we were young, we spent our days exploring the mountain paths, but that time is long past. Telling you all this now, I realize how very little of my life has been dedicated to my own pursuits. Lozanique and I both have devoted ourselves entirely to the protection of our village. How did Leofine steal the artifact from such an accomplished warrior? Well, about that. No, I've no excuse. It was my fault it was stolen, and I'll bear that burden. A protector must take responsibility for his charges. But we don't have the luxury to dwell on regrets. I see now that, although my people never used the cradle for ill, wicked hearts can twist anything toward evil. And that's something I can't tolerate. The very thought that this might happen again makes the bile churn in my gullet. We must bring Leofine's schemes to an end. That seems like a very curious way to train. Like, okay, so I get that he needs to be awake because he's the waking one or whatever. But couldn't you share the sleeping with like a person in your village like every other day or like every one person a day for like a month? That seems like a much better way than putting one person to sleep for like most of their life. Sounds also like Misha from Archanilico having to sing for all eternity. Well, not all eternity, for just most of her life. Well, who am I to judge, I guess? No, that's still stupid. That's still a stupid way to run things. There's no getting around that. Let's see, between sleep and death. Tintoa has a worried expression in his face. Ah, just the person I wanted to see. I'd like to ask your advice on a certain matter, if you don't mind. It's been a while since my last letter to Lozanique. I wanted to wait until I discovered something worth sharing to write her, but we're still completely in the dark. I don't want her to worry, but I don't know what to tell her. Tell her you're in good spirits. That'll suffice. You might be right. Silence might make her think that something terrible has happened. All right, I'll start right away. I may not have much time left. Oh, don't misunderstand. It's nothing so grave as that. It's just the last time I used the cradle was just before it was stolen. Luckily, I'm still alert as I've ever been, but it won't be long until I must dream like any other. That will give Leofine free reign while I'm helpless in bed. There is no quarry more dangerous than the one who doesn't sleep. We have to see this through before that happens. Master Symphorian, Master Tentoa, we have received reports that several groups of Temple Knights have fallen afoul of what can only be your stolen artifact. Several? Let me guess, they were all guarding someone else. You would be correct. It is the duty of a knight to protect those who cannot protect themselves. If we fail at even that most basic function, then our honor means nothing. As if the incident near Camp Dragonhead was not shameful enough, the knights in these most recent attacks were left in quite compromising positions. You turned him into a snowman. Yet the weight of embarrassment is a trifle compared to the guilt we would bear if any innocent came to harm. The Fury was merciful in that respect, but we would rather not see these incidents repeat. Still, while the Temple Knights must work to repair their reputation in the days ahead, 'tis a far cry from bringing Ishgard crumbling to its knees. Truth be told, the methods of this passage of the Unbound leave me mystified. Truth be told, the methods of this passage of the Unbound leave me mystified. But Leofine was cunning, if nothing else. Till we can discern her true motivations, we have little recourse but to wait until she makes a mistake. Perhaps she gets her jollies seeing people humiliated? Or she may be testing the limit of the artifact's powers. She could just leave him asleep then. I think she enjoys seeing people get humiliated. Many among the knights have suggested the same. Leofine may be part of this esoteric order, but she has ever been one to put her own interests first and foremost. The cradle is a tool of peace, yet Leofine uses it for childish pranks. She makes a mockery of its sacred power. We have to get it out of her clutches. And to do that, we have to start asking the right questions. This new information makes me wonder, why has she focused her attention on the Temple Knights? I have pondered the same. Posted at Camp Dragonhead are knights from many houses of repute, including House Vortem. Being a former Temple Knight herself, Leofine doubtless knows their habits and training. Perhaps that makes it easier for her to exploit their weaknesses. Then if we follow the knights, we may pick up her trail. And it's not ideal, but it's the best we have to go on. Well, a large contingent of knights has but recently been dispatched to Kurthus. You remember Gorgagne Mills, yes? It has lain abandoned ever since the heretics were driven from it. Yet there is ever the risk that unsavory elements might infest it once again. Thus have the Temple Knights planned joint patrols of its premises with other contingents. If you speak with Sir Redwald at Falcon's Nest, I am certain he would be glad to have you along. Okay. Well, to Falcon's Nest we go. And I think this is the fastest way to get there, if I remember correctly. Nope, I'm wrong. In that case, this is the fastest way.
Hold on, my friend is messaging me. That's not the right way. Here we go. I think this will be a shortcut. Okay, where's this guy? Here we go. Sir Redwald? Oh, I vaguely remember you. Is that Master Symphorian I see? Of course, you are ever welcome in Falcon's Nest. Yet I believe I do not know your companion here. Indeed, whispers of the Temple Knight's humiliations have reached us even here. Falling asleep while on duty? I dared not believe the stories, but it seems there was truth in them after all. They fell asleep, true, but it wasn't their fault. We suspect they fell victim to an enemy wielding a powerful artifact. Now, the rumors failed to mention anything like that. If it can lull even trained warriors to sleep, then we must treat it as a serious threat. Nevertheless, if one knight falls, another is always at the ready to take their place. So long as this artifact cannot put an entire regiment under its spell, I believe we are well positioned to combat it. Interesting. The idea of your allies falling in battle doesn't seem to disturb you at all. Where I hail from, a single warrior is responsible for the safety of his entire village. Make no mistake, we do not doubt our allies' mettle, and we mourn every loss. Yet each man and woman here knows that if they must quit the battle, another sword just as fierce will take their place. To know that an ally is at your back, it would allow you to fight with abandon. Now, you believe that this Leofiend might take an interest in our activities at Gorgagne Mills, yes? A party has already left, accompanied by a group of Temple Knights. If your suspicions are correct, they are at risk. I would ask that you follow in their tracks, and ensure that they have not fallen victim to foul play. The mills can be found to the north, just across the Black Iron Bridge. The party should be arriving there soon, conditions permitting. We have to reach them before Leofiend does. Okay, away we go. How far are we going? Quite far. Okay. Let's go, Fenrir. This is still one of my favorite mounts, but I also still hate how the snow gets in my face as I'm riding it. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Uh-oh, and sleeping soldiers? Yep. We're too late. They're fast asleep. But Redwald gave the impression that there were more. These knights must have been the lookouts. We should awaken them, but keep your eyes peeled for Leofiend. I'll rouse these ones. Everett, you search that building yonder.
Hello? Who the hells are you? How did you get past the guards? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. House Junadare, or Durandare Scout. Pardon me. Oh, there goes a little Lalafell. Alright. How are you guys doing? It's you! Thank the Fury you arrived when you did. Those thugs struck when our backs were turned. I assumed the Temple Knights were protecting the entrance, so I wasn't as cautious as I should have been. Were they killed? Well... Sleeping? I've heard the stories, of course, but I didn't think they were true. Whomever is behind this, I'm sure they didn't count on you showing up. For now, we shall tend to our wounds, and then finish our inspection here. Master Symvorian, I ask that you join the knights outside, and wait until we're finished. Oh. Ah, as I thought. Just when I was becoming bored, I sighted a familiar face among these slumbering knights. I simply had to come and make sure it was you. You finally found the courage to show yourself. Hand over the cradle now, and I won't kill you. Oh, that was a jump. What did they call you again? The Wide Eye. You must have had quite the journey to come this far. Be careful, Averick. This is our quarry, the thief who stole the Cradle of the Sleepless. This is Leofine. That is your ally? Where their nimble hands, they may seek your artifact for themselves. What do you mean that? It matters not, I suppose. Before you both throw your lives away, I suggest you think for a moment. Is the cause you fight for worth the sacrifice? So few of us know true freedom. If there is aught you would grasp with your own hands, do so before they wither and your eyes shut for the last time. The codes and rules that would bind men are mere illusions. Open your eyes, truly open them, and you shall see a path all your own. Only a fool would waste their life in the struggle of another. Quit spouting nonsense! Nonsense? Perhaps. I am here because of another, after all. Apyahi, who came to me at the height of my debauchery and welcomed me into her devious brotherhood. She guided me to great power, yes, and now I lead others upon the unbound path. Yet, truth be told, I have little interest in seeing where it ends. To tear down the world's nations, Ishgard among them, and usher the world into... well, what does it matter? Yet I do derive great pleasure in shaming the Temple Knights, in seeing the snickers and jeers deflate their pompous stride as they walk down the streets. If this artifact can hasten their fall from grace, I believe I shall keep it. Oh. I know the path I walk, the one that leads to your downfall. And I won't abandon it. I'll take the cradle back. And then I'll... Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. Oh dear, you seem to have lost your train of thought. I know you cannot hear me, but if you want your artifact back, I might suggest stealing it from me while I'm asleep. But considering the burden I've just passed to you, that opportunity may not come for some time yet. Why, I feel absolutely transcendent to think the shackles of fatigue weighed so heavily. Alas, it appears the artifact needs its own repose of sorts. No matter, I have learned more than enough to take my next step. See to it that this lot is disposed of. It is the least you can do for the freedom I have given you. Here we go. Sorry, Tintoa. Maybe I need to slap him around too. Try as you might to rouse Tintoa, he seems completely detached from the waking world. It looks like you saved us twice today. Thank you. But what of him? Fast asleep, just as we were. Could this be what Sir Firmalbert warned us in his report? I see. Then those stories are more than just wicked rumors. I suppose there is some small comfort in the fact that our enemy tipped their hand without causing loss of life. While the drowsiness made my eyes heavy, my ears could not mistake Leofine's arrogant voice. If she would not scruple to attack formal comrades in arms, then she has fallen farther than I dared imagine. Yet we bear the blame for allowing her to get the upper hand. In so doing, put innocent lives in danger. Another black mark upon our order. 'Twas only thanks to you and your companion's efforts that the snow was not stained red this day. At the very least, allow us to carry him to the congregation. Our work here is done, so we shall accompany them as far as Falcon's Nest. Everett, pray return to Ishgard and look after your friend. Back we go. Full glad am I to see you well, Master Symphorian. I understand you come fresh from an encounter with none other than Leofine. Master Tintoa now rests in the second floor. We shall stand vigil by his side every moment until he opens his eyes again. We should not have to wait long. We should not have long to wait, but if you wish to check on him, please do so at your leisure. There's another matter to discuss. Just before your departure to Gorgagne Mills, it seems there was another incident. A group of criminals were released from their cells, their guards found in a deep sleep. Doubtless Leofine was behind this. And doubtless the ruffians you clashed with were these self-same criminals. Leofine is gathering those who bear a grudge against the Temple Knights to her side, and using this animosity to her advantage. We now know for certain that Leofine is the mastermind of these attacks, and that her aim is to chip away at the very foundation of the Temple Knights, our honor. When I shared these revelations with my superiors, 'twas decided that none would speak publicly of the artifact and its powers. Why? The passage of the Unbound seeks to overthrow the nations of the world. One obvious method to achieve this goal would be to stoke the flames of unrest among the common folk, thus sinking Ishgard into a mire of chaos and distrust, not unlike the blasphemies of the final days. So long as these failures are placed squarely on the shoulders of the Temple Knights, we can avoid fomenting a more abiding mistrust in the nation's very core. For Ishgard's peace, I would gladly suffer any disgrace. The question remains as to whether we can apprehend Leofine before she tears her reputation to tatters. While Master Tintoa slumbers, it falls to us to search for clues that might point towards her whereabouts. Yes. And I think... Does that grant me what I think it does? Enhanced continuation. Yes, now I have a continuation for my AoE attack. I look forward to trying that out. Can we actually check on him? He said he's on the second floor. Yep. There he is. Well, he seems fine. Oh. Well, let's continue. Beacon in the darkness. For Malbert's eyes light up when he sees you. Leofine remains as elusive as ever. If she is in league with Ishgard's more unsavory elements, she could be hidden anywhere. We only have her cryptic statements to guide us. It seems that whatever her plan is, her actions thus far have been but a prelude to its climax. We can but hope that Tintoa awakens before she emerges again. Everick, there you are. Oh, what are you doing here? I'm so glad I found you. I was starting to think I was in the wrong city, but the Narwhal guided me true. Oh, you must be the maiden Tintoa mentioned. You hail from the same village, yes? I am Vermelbert, of the Temple Knights. 'Tis an honor to meet you. Ah, Tintoa wrote about you in his letters. I'm Lozanique, and the honor is all mine. Is Tintoa with you? I haven't received a letter from him for some time, so I came here to check on him myself. You crossed the ocean from another continent just to check on him? Girl, you care about him a lot. Oh, off she goes. You insufferable fool! What have I always told you about rushing ahead without thinking? Now you even have the gall to be sleeping when I arrive. You promised you'd write to me. What was I supposed to do when the letter stopped coming? I was so worried. At least I can take some small comfort that he appears otherwise unharmed. I take it you're to thank for that, Averick. He told me you were the Shut-Eye. Yes, that's right. For 10 years I bore his fatigue, and as a result my body is more fragile than most. But since arriving in Tuliolao, my life has become normal. I've walked city streets and eaten my fill of its food. I felt my strength grow. I can even stay awake for a full day now. Do you know why Tentoa sleeps so soundly? The reports of the other incidents indicated that those affected woke in a matter of moments, yet Tentoa shows no signs of stirring. Well, I'm sorry, I can't say for certain. But I do know the stories of those who came before me. More than one Shut-Eye has fallen into a sleep much like this, one so absolute that they become deaf to the outside world. With no means to sustain their bodies, they would waste away if left alone. So our people found a mixture of herbs and other materials that help usher the Shut-Eye back to the waking world. What could possibly be strong enough to bring someone back from this? We call it Spring Dew, and the secrets of its making are passed down through generations. Each drop acts as a ray of sunshine in the darkness of sleep, a beacon for the dreamer to follow. I carry some of the ingredients on my person, but others must be gathered fresh. It won't be an easy task, but I'm certain it will save Tentoa. I don't know their Eorzean name, but one of the flowers blooms a striking yellow and grows only where the mountain peaks soar above the clouds. Being so close to the heavens, it drinks in the sunlight, and its petals cleanse the body and promote wakefulness. In the churning mist blooms a yellow flower called the dandelion. In no other place in Eorzea can one be closer to touching the sun. Good. Next, we'll need the saliva of a beast we call morbles, and the thicker it is, the better. The pungent odor can wake the dead. Ah, I know them well. Morbolls are not an uncommon sight in the Gervanian hinterlands. A mature specimen should possess saliva with the desired effect. The prospect of gathering it, however, is an unenviable task. Once we have those two ingredients, mixing them together with the rest should be a simple matter. Do you think you could procure them, Averick? Oh, your confidence is reassuring. Since the Morble saliva must be the fresher of the two, I ask that you first climb into the heavens and pick the dandelions for Tentoa. Hold on just 1 second. I want to modify my chat settings. Configuration. Log window settings. Notification noises. Here we go. I think that should mute that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so first the dandelions. Oops, a little bit too far. Okay. To Moghome. It's been a long time since I've been here. I've been having a lot of crummy weather in this expansion. Storms, rain, clouds. Yeah, those look like dandelions. Right now, these are thunder-drenched dandelions. There's one. There's two. The sun-drenched dandelions shine an almost golden yellow. Now for a much more gruesome task. Venture to the Dravanian hinterlands and collect saliva from the mouth of a full-grown morbol. Is this person doing okay? Yep, they're fine. Okay. Yes, the west gate. And it's raining again. Alright, the morbols surround the arboretum. Survey the designated location and slay the great putrid morbol for its saliva. Fun. Let's see, where's the location? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm ready. I want to test out my new skill. Not that it's really useful against a single enemy. There it is. And then... oh, continuation. Oh. I gotta figure out a better combination of keys for that then. That's a little bit tricky. Go. So now I need continuation somewhere around here. Where would be the best place to put that? Well, I guess I don't use this that much. At least not when I'm doing my AoE combos. Let's put that up there, and then put this over here. Just continuation. There it is. And let's see how that works out. It's a little inconvenient. But yeah, we'll see how that works out. Okay, back to Kurthus. Okay. Stairs. Okay. Lozanique, I have the stuff. I'm ready to start mixing the ingredients at once. That is, of course, assuming you brought them with you. Sun-drenched dandelions, found blooming among the floating isles above Eorzea, the petals of this dandelion grow almost as brilliantly as the sun which nourishes them. And the great putrid marble saliva. So pungent that not a sealed vial can contain its scent completely. A single whiff of the saliva can wrench even the deepest sleeper back into the waking world. These are difficult to acquire at the best of times, so I thank you for gathering them so quickly. I shall get started immediately. We've done all we can. Now we wait for Tintoa to open his eyes. Huh? Where am I? I hope you enjoyed sleeping the days away, Tintoa. And I'm glad you're fully awake. Lozanique, what are you doing here? I see. So Leofine wielded the cradle against me, and while I was tucked soundly in bed, Lozanique came all this way. Curse my weakness. Just when we had her. Just when I was needed the most, I failed. For 10 years I endured countless trials, and then when the time came, I couldn't even swing my damn weapon. It's not your fault, Tintoa. If anyone's to blame for what's happened, it's me. No, I won't hear it. As you may know, Leofine won our trust by posing as a scholar, traveling the width and breadth of Tural. She expressed great interest in the cradle and our customs, and I was so excited to meet an outsider that I answered her every question. I told her that the White Eye keeps the cradle with them at all times, and then she hatched her plan. She took me hostage to draw out Tintoa. While Lozanique was sleeping, Leofine snuck into her chamber and held a blade to her throat. I had no choice but to give her what she wanted, the cradle of the sleepless. I put Lozanique's life before the future of our people. It was at that moment I became unfit to be their guardian. Yeah, let's go with the second answer. Lozanique is one of your people. Protecting her was your duty. Thank you, Averick. You know just what to say. That was the only way to see a future where none of my people could come to harm. Especially Lozanique. Even without the cradle, you're still our guardian. My guardian. We'll find a way through this together. Seeing you in such high spirits lifts my own. Oh, and before I forget, you trounced Leofine's thugs while I was dreaming in the snow, didn't you? I owe you a debt I won't soon forget. And I wager that debt will grow larger before we pry the treasure from Leofine's clutches. But whatever it takes, I won't stop until she's answered for her crimes.
I'm embarrassed to admit that it was the first time I've ever created the mixture. I'm glad it worked as intended. You know, while I was sleeping, I dreamed. I saw Lozanique and I as children. Nothing particularly interesting happened, we just whiled the days away, without a care in the world. I had forgotten what it was like to dream. It was pleasant. I can remember wanting to stay there, to never open my eyes again. But of course the moment I gave form to that thought, I opened them, and Lozanique was there. Even if we get the cradle back, will things return to the way they were? Will you go back to spending your life in dreams? I suppose so. It's my duty as the Shut-Eye, after all. Your duty. And it was your duty, too, that compelled you to come all the way to here to Ishgard. But no more. What are you saying? I tried so hard to convince myself that you were glad spending so much time asleep. But being on the other side made me realize I was lying to myself all along. I don't want to return to a life where you and I are bound together, but always so far apart. I want to go back to those happy days when we were by each other's sides. I guess what I'm saying is, if there's a different path for us, I want to find it. And I want to walk it with you. But not yet. First, we reclaim the cradle. And when we have, we'll take our first steps to that new future. I promise. I must confess, I haven't felt the same since I woke up. I know I was in that bed for a while, but instead of feeling refreshed, my body feels weaker somehow. It's almost as if my very strength was sapped when the treasure was turned on me. I can't even grip my weapon properly. Leophine did remark that she felt invigorated. Maybe she took your vitality for herself. Then, does that mean the cradle has powers we don't know about? Not exactly. It may just mean the cradle works differently than we thought. Its wielder might not pass on their fatigue. Rather, they absorb another's vigor. The end effect would be the same. The cradle's wielder can go on without sleep, and his victim loses the strength to even keep their eyes open. You never took more than you needed, so my slumber was always light enough to awaken from. But if the treasure was used without restraint... If we had this realization, it won't be long until Leophine does too. And then it will be too late. We have to root her out. But I mustn't rush ahead blindly, as Lozanique never tires of telling me. I feel nearly weak as a child right now. I must spend what precious time we have training to regain what strength Leophine stole from me. You have my word. I won't rest until I'm in top form again. I suggest that you do the same, if for no other reason than to give me some stiff competition. You got it. Okay. Well, I'm glad somebody's using their head. Like, that whole situation makes no sense. I mean, okay, staying awake, like, I guess that's cool. You could get an extra 9 hours of training time, I guess. But, like, I don't know, split the difference on multiple people in the village. Don't just put it all on one person. They're really cute together, though. I like them.
sorry, just messaging my friend again. Okay, so that takes care of the tank job quest for now. Need to level up another 4 levels to get all of them, I imagine. Let's do some healing. My garment is a little bit mixed as well. Half from the, oh gosh, that dungeon name I can't pronounce. Ihu Katumu, and half from Workers Ormor. But it kind of works out, I guess. Okay, so back to Liulau. Okay. Go back to the restaurant. And hop. Hop. Okay, other side this time. Nyapine? In the sting of things. Nyapine's gaze is transfixed upon the crowds, until he spies you. I do stand out a bit. Yep, my wings went away. What business do you have with me? Ah, my apologies. You were Brokavu's guest, were you not? I am Nyapine. Nyapine? Nyapine. And I have journeyed far from the northern valleys of Shaktural to reach this grand city. Tell me, traveler, what is your name? I'm Averick Symphorian. Averick. Rest assured, I will remember it. A shame that we must meet under these unfortunate circumstances. My village's prized possession was among the treasures stolen by the passage of the Unbound. It is known as the Heart Sting, and the soul of a dread scorpion, one of the Tural Vidral, is sealed within. The creature once hunted its prey using an array of toxins produced within its body, and was a menace to all. Those granted the Heart Sting's gifts may wield this fearsome power as they see fit. We believe the thieves have already taken it across the ocean to Eorzea, and it will doubtless wreak havoc in the wrong hands. Thus, I seek a healer to remedy any harm wrought by the Heart Sting's toxins in that faraway land. I won't mince words with you. You are precisely the sort of man I seek, and we must act quickly to avoid the worst. Will you lend us your aid? Fine, but don't expect any miracles? That sounds like very pessimistic. Aiding those in need is what I do best. You have my gratitude. To the matter at hand, then. While I was making inquiries here in Liulau regarding the thieves' whereabouts, some Eorzean merchants told me a rather intriguing tale. Specifically, those returning from Limsa bring fell tidings. Tales of able-bodied men and women suddenly losing their vision. An all too familiar account, as the Heart Sting allows mastery over all manners of poisons, including those that inflict temporary blindness. A great deal of training is required to properly utilize the Scorpion's gifts, but the blinding toxin is one of the simplest to wield. It seems to me the brigands are the masterminds of these strange incidents, harnessing the treasure's power for their own nefarious ends. Loshkana, the village elder's daughter, makes for Limsa in the pursuit of the Heart Sting. I intended to set sail with her, but my foot was badly injured by a strange mechanical dowel during the thieves' ambush. Loshkana insisted I remain here to recover, and she would not take no for an answer. I must ask that you cross the sea in my stead, and provide Loshkana with your aid. Considering that our enemy wields deadly poisons, the danger is too great for her to face alone. Based on when she departed, I presume she's arrived at her destination by now. She boarded a merchantman captained by a woman named Balbrida, who is primarily based in Limsa Lominsa. She may be able to help you locate Loshkana. Okay, then away we go. Okay, so you want to go to the docks? That would be near the Arcanist Guild, right? Here we go. Balbrida? Hi, I'm Balbrida, and if you're planning on selling your healing services to me and my crew, don't. Me ship ain't setting sail for a short while. Eh? Looking for a Tirali woman named Loshkana? Aye, she made the crossing with us. Trying to retrieve some sort of treasure, as I recall. I told her Hawker's Alley was her best bet for the latest chatter, so you may find her wandering thereabouts. Keep an eye out for a Huron lass in a red tunic, carrying a spear on her back. She can't have gone too far. Thank you very much. Let's go fast. Butterflies of speed. Where are we going? Nope, probably would have been faster. Just use the Aetheryte shards, but oh well. Let's see, here she is. Loshkana. Oh, hello there, stranger. Can I help you? Nyapine sent you to help, did he? Seeing as I've hit something of a dead end, your timing couldn't be better. I suppose proper introductions are in order then. I am Loshkana of Shaktaral, and you are? I'm Averick Semporian of Eorzea. A pleasure to meet you, Averick. With that, we're strangers no longer. I'm not sure how much Nipin's already told you, but I'll assume you want to hear more about the day of the theft. My father and Nipin, I'm gonna go with just Nipin, had just set a trap using one of the Heartsting's toxins, and were on their way to return the treasure to its resting place. But an evil presence stirred in the wilds that night. Mechanical dolls with great glowing eyes leapt from the shadows and gravely wounded them both. My father survived the encounter, thankfully, but he was unable to give chase, and convalesces now in my home village. The culprit's faces eluded him in the darkness, but he heard two voices, a man's and a woman's. He recognized neither, so we're certain they aren't from our village. Whoever those two were, they must have been the ones controlling the dolls, before making off with the Heartsting. Brooke Evu said that they're part of the Passage of the Unbound, but I'm afraid that's all I know of the culprits. Still, that may change if I can ascertain the cause of the recent blinding incidents that have occurred around here. Unfortunately, I haven't had much luck asking around. The thought of addressing even one person here is, well, overwhelming when you're from a remote village like mine. Excuse me. The few I've attempted to speak with were too busy to even listen in the first place. You, on the other hand, look ready to take on the world. Or at least the city. I'm sorry to ask this of you so soon after we've met, but could you help me gather the latest hearsay at the markets? Certainly. Many, many thanks. I'll search the quieter districts for clues in the meantime, and hopefully not get myself lost along the way. It's quite a harpoon she has on her back.
What if they come from like a fishing village? Let's see. Zwinbeck or Zwinberg? The recent chaos in the markets? I'm told the Yellow Jackets have been thoroughly investigating the matter in cooperation with the Adventurers Guild. If you're in a hurry, there's a Yellow Jacket making her rounds by the way of the Fisherman's Guild. She'd be a good one to ask. Bane Singh? Blinding incidents? Aye, I know of 'em. Started with some bad fruit at a stall in Auker's Alley. A few bites in, and folks suddenly went writhing on the ground like beached sea serpents, claiming they couldn't see a bloody thing. I don't blame 'em for raising hells with the shopkeep, neither. Poor sods couldn't move an elm till the treatment came and they could see properly. The shopkeep was rightly furious about the whole ordeal, and took it up with his longtime supplier. Escalated into a real spectacle, it did. Turns out the same problem was occurring at other stalls, and with fruit from different suppliers. So it don't make sense to pin the blame on individual sellers if the whole supply chain's tainted. Even now, nobody knows what's causing it. Grim business, I tell you. A little naked Lalafell running around. Why yes, I know about the blinding incidents. I experienced it firsthand. I was rather peckish, so I purchased some fruit from a local stall and took a few bites on my way home. But before I knew it, my vision went dark. I stood there, shaking and crying, terrified of what would happen if the darkness ever faded. I thought I was alone until I heard a woman nearby howling with laughter. Fortunately, I didn't suffer for long. A passing adventurer cured my sight with the Suna, and I went about the rest of my day as though nothing happened. But I still haven't been able to look at the fruit the same way. I still haven't been able to look at fruit the same way since. Your investigation of Hawker's Alley has proven successful, but you sense there's more to be found. Seek out the Yellow Jacket on patrol, who may have further details on the blinding incidents. Let's see, this is probably the fastest way to get there. Fisherman's Guild, yep. Oh, over here. Sunny Yellow Jacket. 12 be good. You're FFXIV, aren't you? The FFXIV? It's an honor to meet the realm's vaunted hero up close. Is there aught I can assist you with? I hear all sorts on my rounds, so if it's information you're after, you've come to the right person. Oh yes, the serial blindings. They're causing a terrible ruckus around here. You know, there's a woman in red came this way a few moments ago to ask about the very same. I take it you two are acquainted? Aha! I thought so. As I told her, another incident was reported yesterday morning. The victim bought fruit from a local vendor, took a few bites, then temporarily lost all vision. Same as the rest. The vendor in question was last seen to the south of the Octant, so I'm headed there next to follow their trail. You're welcome to join me if it'll help your investigation. Okay. I rarely take the stairs around here, because I get confused easily. Where am I going to come up? Oh, here we go. It worked out. Oh, wow. Never saw that little NPC text over there before. And of course they make the Lalafell look like that. Ailing citizen, are you alright? Can't move.
Oh, he looks like he's paralyzed this time.
Averick, is this man going to be alright?
He's paralyzed. We've got to do something. But I've no talent for healing magics, and I don't have any spine drops on me either. Perhaps Asuna might do the trick?
Sure thing. Where's my Asuna? Nope, there it is. I should know where that is as a healer.
I'm healed? I'm healed! Oh, thank the 12. And you lot, of course. Excellent work, Averick. On behalf of the Yellow Jackets, I owe you my thanks as well. Now, I hate to ruin the mood, but I'll need to report this to my superiors. Could you tell us what's transpired here before we found you, sir? It was awful. Just awful, I tell you.
So cute.
I was walking home after another arduous day at work, minding my own business, when a Lalafellan merchant suddenly called out to me. You, my good man, look exhausted, he said. Why not soothe your weary spirit and fill your empty belly with one of the realm's sweetest apples? You've earned it. Nay, you deserve it. It was a tempting sales pitch, but I wasn't keen to gamble on potentially cursed fruit. Sensing my apprehension, he proudly declared his merchandise safe to eat. He sounded sincere enough, even took a bite of the apple himself. No tainted fruit here, he boasted, just normal, honest-to-God's produce. He sold me the apple at a reasonable discount, and all seemed well. Oh dear. That is until I took my first bite, and numbness spread through my body like wildfire. I collapsed to the ground, struggling to speak a single word. The vendor and his fruit had suddenly betrayed me, yet I knew not how. As I fell, a woman's shrill laughter echoed from a few yards away, and the vendor soon followed. I never saw the woman for myself, what with the whole not being able to move business, but between her laughing fits she made mention of a heart sting, or some such. Oh, you poor dear. And this woman you mentioned, you're positive she spoke the word heart sting? As surely as the wind blows. For mercy, neither she nor her vendor friend tried to steal my belongings, but they certainly stole my dignity. I hope those conniving charlatans get what's coming to them. This is dangerous fruit we're dealing in. First blindness, now paralysis? But first things first, I should escort this man home. If you have a mind to pursue the perpetrators further, then have care out there, all right? There's no doubt about it then. Our thieves are at large, right here in Limsa Lominsa. The blinding toxin is simple enough to master, but it's unsettling how quickly they learn to inflict paralysis as well. I just don't see what purpose all this serves. Were you able to learn anything of their motives? So they take pleasure in their victims' pain, but nothing more. At least nothing more that we know of. Whatever their true aim may be, we must discover it quickly, before more victims suffer at their hands. A hunter must adapt to their environment if they wish to snare their prey, but I have so much to learn about this place. Still, I've tracked them to this far, which is a good start. For the time being, I'd like to petition those officers in yellow for any new information they acquire on the Heartsting's whereabouts. When we come across any promising leads, I hope I can count on your support again. You got it. Okay, 92.
Loshkana seeks a word of advice. Causing problems on purpose.
Say, Averick, can you spare a moment? I'll try to start on a positive note then. The good news is that there have been no further incidents involving poisoned fruit. I should be happy about this, but it's not exactly conducive to tracking down our thieves. Despite my best attempts, the investigation's still at a standstill. Averick! I bring news from the Coral Tower. A Lallanfellan man matching the description of that fruit vendor was seen leaving the city with a Huron woman. It seems they were making for Aleport. We've increased patrols of late, so if I had to guess, the culprits are finding it harder to operate within the city. Seems to be forced on the withdrawal for the time being. Aleport, you say? That's on this island, isn't it? Yes, that's right. It's possible to go on foot, but the ferry by the Fisherman's Guild can take you straight there. While we Yellowjackets must continue to keep an eye on things here, it's reassuring to know that an adventurer of Averick's caliber is on the case. If you plan to pursue the suspects, Aleport's your best bet. That said, I should get back to work. It was an honor to meet you and your friend Averick. Safe travels to you both, and give those crooks a good thrashing for me. I like the Luminsons. The city's protectors place so much trust in your abilities. I'm lucky to have you on my side. When I first set sail for Eorzea, I feared I'd never see the Heartsting again, but we're one step closer to bringing it home. In any event, we'd best find our way to the port town before that pair of troublemakers defiles another fruit supply. I'll go ahead and take the ferry. Meet me in Aleport once you're ready. Alright, to Aleport we go. Butterfly speed. Oof. Loshkana. Ah, there you are, Averick. You're a welcome sight among such unfamiliar scenery. The ferry skipper was eager to teach me all about this area on the ride here, so I believe I have a general idea of what's what. Wouldn't want to lose my bearings on a hunt this important. I asked him about our merchants, but he said he hadn't seen a pair like that. The skipper did mention another merchant, though, one who's well versed in the comings and goings of his fellow traders. If anyone sighted our unlikely duo, it's him. Let's hope it's enough to put us on the culprit's trail again. The merchant we seek should be peddling his wares by the gates to Skull Valley, so let's start there. He matches the skipper's description. I think we found our merchant. Eh? Can I help you? A Lalafell and a Hero traveling together. Aye, I've spied them. Though I'd never seen them before, they certainly made an impression. They sold some potions and elixirs to a pair of fresh-faced adventurers, on the cheap from what I could tell. If those merchants really are our culprits, then those potions are most likely tainted with toxins. Toxins, you say? That don't bode well. The adventurers who bought them, a marauder named Wisdom and a conjurer named Zirig, already left for their next job. Said they were escorting one of the local farmers over to Swiftperch. They're good lads, the two of them. They've been making life easier for the small folk here ever since they arrived, and I'd hate to see something happen to them. Someone needs to warn them about those potions right quick. Leave that to us. Swift perch is southeast of here, yes? Let's find them before the poison takes hold. I have a supplier to meet elsewhere, so I can't stay long. But please, find those lads before it's too late. Keep your eyes peeled for a Rogadan Marauder and a Huron Conjurer on the road to Swift Perch. That'll be Wisdom and Zurich. Okay. Guess I could fly. Here we go. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. KA model mammoths. Come and get me. Go. There's Loshkana. Good job standing there. Stay on your guard, Averick. We're being watched. Zerig? I can't stop these blasted hiccups. Please, you must aid Wisdom. Frog Farmer. That was too bloody close for comfort. Thanks. Let's try it again. That was too bloody close for comfort. Thanks for saving our asses, lad. I'm aiding you. Phew. Thank the gods you found us when you did. Those potion sellers must have swindled us. One draught of elixir was all it took to send Zerig into the most furious fit of hiccups I've ever seen. Poor bastard couldn't get to cast a single spell. Who are you calling a poor bastard? If the heartstrings toxins are at work here, we should be able to cleanse them with the Suna, just like last time. I'm sorry, did you say... Oh, sod it. We'll have plenty of time to chat after Zurich stops hiccuping up a storm. I hate to ask more of you, but if you could cast a Suna on my partner, it'd be much appreciated. Why are you getting your spear out? I can speak again. You have my thanks. Bloody hells. First we waste our hard-earned coin on poison potions, and now there are killer mammoths on the loose. What's the world coming to? Who goes there? Show yourself. Oh my, oh me, oh my, our spear-wielding friend is sharp of eye. You're the frauds from Aleport. Why, yes, and watching your scrawny compatriot suffer was the highlight of our day. I admit the poison was meant to silence him, but hiccups was comedy at its finest. Perhaps the elixir reacted with the venom. Regardless, we've had our fill of fun from the results, so I shan't complain. Venom? Then you must be the thieving cowards from the passage of the Unbound. Oh, my sweet fairy apple, you know us? I suppose that means we're famous. I can't believe it. Oh, who am I kidding? Yes, I can.
Indeed, I am the passage of the Unbound's alchemist extraordinaire, the illustrious Elarite, and I'm so very, very pleased to make your acquaintance. Kokonoa, at your service. Elarite's helping hand and master of mammoths. Your garb is ever so familiar to me, my dear. Ah, don't tell me. You hail from that little village in Tyrol, don't you? My goodness, you've come a long way. How was the voyage? Enjoying the sights? Enough! You've got a lot of explaining to do, starting with the reason you took the heart sting. Is this part of your organization's grand scheme? Well, well, the apple bites back. 'Tis true that my unbound compatriots harbor lofty ambitions, yes. But I have no interest in overthrowing nations. I merely crave the mires of chaos they promised me. I aim to bring more laughter into this dreary world, one mischief, and a few handy poisons, at a time. Kokonoa and I are having oodles of fun, expanding our repertoire of toxic treats. Yet there's no greater kill to our thrills than a healer who can whisk our hard work away. Unless, of course, I master a toxin even he can't cure. Ooh, I do love a challenge. Now, I hate to leave you, my dears, but our work here is done, and we have a busy schedule ahead of us. Mammoths to mend, venomous misdeeds to master. Ta-ta for now. No, wait, damn you! Ugh, that stench! Smells like a corpse just shat itself. That's something to say. This odor is too much to bear. Take me home to the 12's Wood, Wiselam. The air is clear there. Oh no, don't you dare give out on me, Zereg. We still got a job to do. We mustn't keep our client waiting any longer, but we're in your debt. Thank you for everything, Miss... Loshkana. And this here is Averick. Take care of each other out there. Much as I'd like to track down the Unbound, I know better than to tread further into their territory without a plan. For now, I think it best we return to Limsa Lominsa. Haven't heard this soundtrack in a while. Okay, where are we going? No quick way to get there. Okay. This way. Butterflies away! And then we go around here. Okay. Thank you for the support back there, Averick. Asuna truly does work wonders. And the Elarite. I can't stop thinking about what she said. My blood boils knowing that all this is some sick game to her. How dare she toy with the heart sting for her own amusement? Honestly, even the youngest children in my village have more sense. Still, we did make progress. Now that the villains have revealed themselves, it'll be easier to give chase when they choose to make their next move. In any case, I'll keep you apprised of the latest news as I hear it. We'll be back to the hunt before long. Next quest, Living Among the Deadly. And this will probably be my last one for tonight. Loshkana is staring wistfully into the horizon. Oh, it's you, Everick. You'll have to forgive the dour mood. I don't understand it. How is it that Elerite and Kokonoa can so grandiosely reveal their names and identities, yet I remain unable to track them down? I've been following the latest hearsay, but I haven't had much luck. Not a soul's seen them since the incident with Wilsum and Zurich. But that's not to say I've given up entirely. Now that they know I'm on their trail, I suspect they're using my unfamiliarity with this island to their advantage. I dare say they're lying low outside the city. That's why I propose a trip to the Morabi dry docks. Folk here often speak of it, but I've yet to go there myself, so it seems as good a place as any. If you're game, I'll meet you there. Okay. Okay. Where are you? There you are. High-strung shopkeeper, or shipwright, rather. Where in the hells could he have gone? I do not know. Ah, there you are, Everick. While I was waiting for you, this fellow came up asking for help. Sorry to trouble you, but my little brother's gone missing, and I could use a hand finding him. He said he wanted to see the ships I made, so I started showing him around, but the next thing I knew, he was gone. The lad's probably got himself lost. Oh, that poor dear. I know we still have the Heartsting to consider, but I'd like to search for this man's brother, if that's alright with you. Much appreciated. I'm sure we'll find him all the faster with your help. You have me thanks. My brother wouldn't say boo to a goose, so I doubt he'd leave the docks on his own. He's got a mop of red hair like mine, so you'll know him when you see him. We'll keep an eye out. I know you're itching to search for him as well, but could I ask you to wait here in case he comes back? Let's split up so we can cover more ground. Good luck. Let's see. Where might he be? Oh, here we go. Aw, it's okay. We found you. I'm scared. Where are you? Huh? You're here to take me back to my brother? You found the little one, Everick. I'm so glad he's safe. I just wanted to see the ships my brother was working on. I thought I could see him better from higher up, but I lost my way. It sounds like you've had quite the adventure. But you were very brave today, so I'll tell you a secret. Even grown-ups get lost. I have an awful time learning my way around somewhere new, even with a map. Really? I guess I'm not the only one. A smile. We like to see those. Now, your brother's very worried about you, so can you promise me you won't go wandering off on your own again? I promise. I should say sorry to my brother, too. Let's take him back, then. Aw, she seems really good with kids. Very compassionate. Let's see. Here we go. Brother! I was worrying myself sick over that little one. He could have fallen into the ocean for all we knew.
You're lifesavers, both of ye. You deserve a proper reward, but I ain't got much to offer at the moment. Oh, we're in no need of coin. Just some information, if you have it. Have you seen a Huron woman and a Lalafellan man around the docks these recent days? One is an alchemist and the other a goldsmith. They'd likely have a few mammoths with them as well. If not, have you heard any rumors of food or drink that causes ailments when you consume them? Blindness or numbness, perhaps? Afraid I haven't seen or heard anything or anyone like that. Sorry I couldn't be of more help to you. That's alright. Knowing they haven't been around the docks is equally helpful. Well, that's good at least. I'll be praying to the navigator you both find who you're looking for. Any road, the two of us ought to be heading home. Thanks again for everything. Good fortune and safe travels to you both. Bye! Still no word of the Unbound, but at least we could help those brothers. Children often let their curiosity guide them, which means they'll naturally wander off on their own adventures. I don't blame that man for worrying as much as he did. Something tells me you speak from personal experience. I do, in fact. I'm the oldest sibling in my family. I can't tell you how many times I've had to search for my brothers and sisters when they were growing up. Now that I think on it, I barely even told you about my family, or my village, or anything, really. I'd be happy to share a few stories if you'd like. The ocean view here is so beautiful, we may as well enjoy the scenery and relax a bit. My people hail from the northern valleys of Shaktural. We're a close-knit community of hunters, for the most part. Children are given spears, well, practice ones, before they even learn to walk. And before they learn to walk? I just imagined a nursery of babies with little spears. That's an interesting image. And we hone our tracking skills from a very young age. Is that surprising? It seems second nature to me, but then again I've encountered my fair share of surprises here as well. Our village rests in a veritable sea of poisonous plants and animals, so the slightest injury on a hunt can prove deadly. Thus, we believe it prudent to begin our training as early as possible. Yet, no matter how skilled we might become, accidents are inevitable, and the heartsting proves vital to our survival. Not only does it produce poison, it cleanses it as well. In the right hands, it can dispel some of the deadliest natural toxins known to mankind. It even purifies the beasts we hunt. In fact, our diet consists of highly venomous creatures, ones that would normally kill a grown adult if ingested. The heartsting allows us to lead a quiet, peaceful life in lands where others dare not tread. It always has. I suppose that's why I never imagined someone like Elirite would take that away from us. When I left, our village food stores were well stocked, but I can't bear the thought of my younger brothers and sisters going hungry. I must return the heartstring as soon as I can, for their sakes. I wish to bring back their smiles and make them feel safe again, just as we did for that young boy. In any case, thank you for listening. Thinking of home puts me in good spirits. As long as I remember who and what I'm here for, I'll be all right. I know it. But I've kept you long enough. I think it's time we made our way back to Limsa, don't you? Aw. I think I like her the best so far. Okay, she's down this way. Oh, lots of healers around here. That was a much-needed reprieve, but we'll need to plan for our next destination, and soon. Well now, fancy meeting you here. It's good to see you two again. What brings you to Limsa Lominsa? Nothing to import, really. Just a bit of restocking before our next job, but we happened to spot you along the way. Didn't want to miss the opportunity to greet our heroes. Our client arrives to Swiftbirch in one piece, thanks to your timely assistance. Indeed. While I regret that you had to see us in such a pitiable state, we're both grateful for your aid. When last we met, you spoke of pursuing those two charlatans, did you not? Yes, that's right. They've stolen a precious heirloom from my village, so I'm doing everything in my power to return it to its rightful place. So that's the way of it. Bombastic as those two were, we've not seen hide nor hair of them in Airport since. No word of any incidents like ours either. But I have a feeling they won't stay in the shadows for long. If we sniff out any suspicious incidents while we're out and about, we'll keep you informed. I won't say no to some extra pairs of eyes around the island. I've made my base of operations here in the city, so if you hear even a peep about poisoning, you know where to find us. Well, we may not have found any leads on Elerite, but I'm glad we had a chance to chat. And with Wilzum and Zer... Boy, these names. These aren't even from Dawntrail. Wilzum and Zerrig on our side, things are looking up. For now, I'll keep in touch with our newfound allies. Should I hear any news from our culprits, I'll be sure to let you know. Okay, and that's it for now. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. Next time I play, maybe tomorrow, might not be tomorrow, we'll see. But I'll be continuing the role quests. What's next? We've done healing, we've done tank, we've done melee DPS. That just leaves casters and ranged DPS as well. Okay, sounds good. So that's the plan. So tune in next time if you want to see me continue on doing that. And yeah, if you do, I'll see you then. So again, bye-bye.